league on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Jags and the silver and black. And it comes your way next on Madden Football.
Just west of the world-famous Las Vegas Strip, we're at the site of Super Bowl 58, Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas. Thanks for having us in, Mike Tirico and Greg Olson, or should I say Dean Olson, because tight end U doesn't happen without you. And we've got a great matchup here. We've got two of the best at your position in the current game right now.
And Mike, when I came into the league, almost 20 years ago, there was a handful of really elite tight ends. But doesn't it just seem, especially over these last couple years, every single team, at least the ones that make their mark and find themselves in the playoffs competing for Super Bowls, have a legitimate #1 threat at the tight end position. It almost feels like if you don't have a tight end, your offense is missing a key piece. I know I'm biased, but at tight end U, man, we make no mistake about it. We think we are the most important position in football, and you're not going to convince me otherwise.
On the return, it's Parker Washington. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. The Jacksonville offense ready to go to work for the first time. Leading them out, the former #1 overall pick back in the 2021 draft, it's Trevor Lawrence.
You think back just a few years ago, Mike, Trevor Lawrence coming out of Clemson, he was regarded as one of the top quarterback prospects of the last decade, and at times, he's fit the billing, but it's been the inconsistency, protect the ball, turnovers. If he can clean up a lot of those miscues, he could be one of the top quarterbacks in this league.
A huge play right off the bat. 37 yards.
This defense just gets punched in the mouth on that one, Mike, and it just seemed from up here that not everyone on defense was on the same page, and the offense was able to take advantage of it. The defense has to clean things up here in a hurry, because if they don't, they could be in for a long day.
From the 35, it's 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, it's Lawrence. Oh, intercepted on the second play of the game. Picked off by Jack Jones. And the Raiders will take over here just past the 30.
So anytime a team suffers an early setback like that interception, human instinct says, Mike, we need to get away from our game plan. We need to adjust. I don't think that's the case. There's a lot of game left, a lot of chances to avenge that play and still connect downfield on some of these passes. All proven, though, Mike, they've got to identify what went wrong, let's correct it so we're able to move forward.
The Raiders offense set to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by their quarterback, drafted back in 2019 out of Washington State. It's Gardner Minshew.
Don't let this guy's laid-back personality fool you, Mike. He is a tremendous presence to have in your quarterback room. Not only does he have the ability to manage the game at a high level, but your team has a legitimate chance to beat anyone in the league whenever he's under center. Now, I don't know if I'd classify him as a long-term solution, but he's certainly someone every franchise they would love to have. This is clinic tape for any young wide receiver out there watching this guy run routes. He has the defender thinking everything is a go ball. Attack him vertically, and then when you get to your route depth, you stick that foot in the ground, you break in, balls on time, results in a nice first down pickup.
A good spot here, 2nd and a yard. Off the play fake, it's Minshew. Open man downfield, he's got his tight end, Bowers. 22 yards, the pickup there. Good for a Raider first down.
They've done a nice job spreading the ball around. Make the defense have to account for as many different weapons as possible here early. But think back to our conversation with this coaching staff, Mike. They identified this guy as someone they needed to get involved early and often, so that might be his first target. I don't think it's going to be his last.
On the give, this is Madison. And he'll plow forward for a gain of 4 yards. Here's 2nd and 6. They'll stick with Madison. And he's trying to turn the corner, but will not do it. Brought down behind the line.
Just a little too much east and west there for my liking. I understand what they're trying to do, getting the ball out on the perimeter, but on these early downs, plant your foot and get downhill. Great job by the defense stringing it out, and they're able to force them down for a loss.
To the air on 3rd down, it's Minshew. And he'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
Here's the quarterback doing everything in his power to extend this play, and none of his guys could get open. You got to see someone separate, work with your quarterback, go into scramble second reaction mode, and let's also give some credit to the back end doing a nice job plastering with their assignment, and he had no choice but to throw it away.
Carlson's kick is good. And the Raiders are out to an early 3-0 lead.
And I think this is going to end up being considered a successful drive, Mike. I think obviously you would have loved to see them come down and convert and score a touchdown. But at the very least, they needed to come away with 3. They were able to do that and take a lead on that field goal.
On the return, it's Devin Duvernay. And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. The Jaguars offense ready to see the football for the 2nd time. They had the interception on that opening drive. It only led to a field goal, so 3-0 as the offense comes back out 1st and 10. Lawrence going to keep this himself. Not much there, maybe a yard.
You know, Mike, early in my time in Carolina, we were kind of on the forefront of this NFL zone read revolution. Cam Newton, one of the best to ever do it. I have seen up close and personal, when you run the zone read the right way, it is a nightmare for a defense to defend.
2nd down, Lawrence. He locates the open man. That's Christian Kirk. And they'll mark him down just shy of the 40.
Anytime you're facing a zone defense, you're working from your first progression all the way through. But when guys are open in this level, Mike, they don't stay open very long. So what they taught us as receivers, if you're open, stay open. And if you're not open, you better get open quick because that ball is coming out.
And he gets this up close to the 40. Trayvon Merrick up to make the tackle. Here's a 2nd and 9. They'll run it once more with ETN. And it'll be a pickup of 3. So 3rd down, forthcoming. From the shotgun, it's Lawrence. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
Remember what they told us, Mike, leading up to this game. They said it is so critical for us to find success, especially on 3rd down. We want to maintain possession, extend these drives. Well, the first crack comes up and they fail through the air, and we're going to have to regroup and be able to have better success throughout the remainder of this game.
And not much doing there. They made sure he would not get free. The Raiders offense ready for their 2nd possession. They had the field goal on the opening drive, took the early lead. See if they can improve on that here. 3-0 our score as we begin 1st and 10. And he'll work his way forward to about the 21. Here's 2nd and 9. Working out of the gun, it's Minshew. And he's able to gain yardage out of this one before he slides.
Well, give him some credit. Initially, that looked like it was going to be a sack. He's able to escape the pressure and get away, picks up a little bit of yardage, but at least he avoids taking that shot.
Here now, 3rd and 5. In motion is Myers. They'll try and throw with Minshew.
Really nice job here, not only avoiding the rush on 3rd down, but quickly finding that crease, get downfield, and he's able to pick up the 1st down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. In motion is Myers. On 1st down, here's Minshew. Pressure gets there, and down he goes. That is Josh Hines-Allen from his defensive end spot to record the sack.
The best thing they did here, Mike, is keep their rush lane integrity. What that means is you have to rush the quarterback as a unit. Keep him in the pocket. Keep him on that X. And when you do, man, he becomes a sit and duck for this pass rush.
So after the loss on 1st, here's 2nd and 14. The shotgun, a throw for Minshew. And a good effort there defensively. It's knocked away and incomplete. Trying to get it to his tight end, Brock Bowers. And 3rd down coming up.
I think you just rushed that decision just a little bit downfield. I mean, it's one thing to trust your guy to make a play in tight coverage, but I think if he was a little bit more patient in his progression, there was an easier throw out there that wouldn't make him have to throw such a tight window ball and put his receiver in a tight spot.
The defense blows a chance to get off the field as the offense converts 3rd and 14.
These 3rd down conversions are just so important, Mike. Everybody stresses we want to possess the ball, give our offense as much opportunity to end as many drives as we can, scoring points. So if you want to stay on the field, you better be good on 3rd down.
They'll run here with Madison. The hole closes quickly. He'll pick up about 3. They face 2nd down and 7. Look wide, get this one complete, and they'll hold him to a gain of just a couple and sets up 3rd down. On the draw, here's Madison. This will not do the trick. They've stopped him behind the line. 4th down coming up.
Great job by the defense here, quickly realizing that this was going to be a draw. They're not caught off guard thinking that they're defending the pass. They're able to not only get in there for a stop, but they're able to take them down in the backfield for a loss.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders. Back deep for Jacksonville, that's Devin Duvernay. The Jaguars offense ready to see what they can do with this next possession. This one has been tight so far. A field goal separating the two sides as this drive kicks off with 1st and 10. And they'll get about 4 here as he is taken down. Lawrence now on 2nd down. A pass complete to the tight end, Evan Ingram. And they'll bring him down, but not until he gets to the 38-yard line.
Recognizing the blitz is just the first step in the process for a quarterback, understanding who you can account for with the protection and then who you can't account for. That's where your hot receiver comes in. He points to his receiver, who the defender they're hot off of. That guy comes, gets the ball out of his hand, and results in a completion.
Second down and 8. In the pistol, here's Lawrence. There's a short one taken by Ingram. And they're going to work this down inside the 45.
These crossing concepts are frequently used, Mike, throughout the entire game, all across the league. And what it does is it creates a lot of natural rubs. You run out the backside of the defense and rely heavily on the yards after the catch, and it's exactly how they're able to pick up this big gain.
A fresh set of downs to work with. It is first down and 10. To throw is Lawrence. That's complete. He finds Brian Thomas. They'll come up now for second down and 4. Lawrence gives this one to ETN. And he'll drive this one forward down to the 36. Robert Spillane spills him there. Here's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for the first with ETN.
Nothing real fancy about this call here, Mike, right? In this 3rd and short, just get the ball to your running back, make sure he has enough space to pick up the first down, and they're able to convert.
They go play action for Lawrence. He'll take a shot here, back of the end zone. That is going to be hauled in. He's got it. Brian Thomas. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
All week, we're going to see this play be run over and over as a highlight of the quarterback and the receiver. But, Mike, the part that people don't give enough credit to, in order to get a downfield shot, you have to have time.
And, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed. So replay's going to take a look at this one and make sure it is good for 6. And we'll get a moment here as they look this one over. Remember, the call on the field is what they'll stick with unless they have clear, incontrovertible visual evidence to the contrary. In other words, it's got to be the truth. So, ruled a touchdown originally. They didn't find any reason to overturn it, and it stays on the board. Little now following the touchdown, out to kick this one away. Here comes Amir Abdullah on the return. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. Following the kickoff, we have an injured player on the field. The training staff going to look and will step out for a moment. They'll come up here, 1st and 10. The drive starts with a run by Madison. He'll take this ahead. It's a pickup of 3. Foye Oluokun with the play. Second and 7. Again, it's Madison. And nothing doing on that one. He'll go down behind the line.
This is what every defense in the league is shooting for, Mike. Negative plays. That's how you kill drives. Force teams to play from behind the sticks. Great job here, taking them down for a loss.
It is 3rd and 10. On play action, here's Minshew. And he'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
So the hope is your 1/3 down conversion from really jump-starting a possession that ultimately leads in points, but after that 3rd down incompletion, kind of throws a wrench into those plans.
Here's A.J. Cole now, and he's on to punt for the 2nd time in this opening quarter. And he'll get forward a few yards on the return. And that's where the offense will take over. The Jaguars offense ready to come back out for this next possession. The lead sits at 4, so they'll try to add on to that. This drive begins with 1st and 10. Second and a yard. Off the play fake. Here's Lawrence. That pass sideline is caught. Nice catch. Stays in bounds. And he's got the 1st down. Terrific job with the feet to make that one a grab.
The best guys I've been around, Mike, they have a sense where they can see the ball, but they can feel the sideline. And that's kind of an innate sense that these guys have that allows them to concentrate and secure the catch and ensuring that both feet remain in bounds.
He'll let this one go. Deep for Thomas. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be 2nd down. Brian Thomas, the intended receiver. And it'll be 2nd down. Now a handoff. ETN.
It's tough to completely celebrate, Mike, when you don't pick up the 1st down, but that's a run you will take every single time. I mean, good yardage, and in a lot of situations, it'll get you the 1st down, just not here.
They'll look to pick this up, 3rd and a yard. Once again, it's ETN. And he's going to have a Jags 1st down. They're able to convert by plenty on that 3rd and 1. Now here's Lawrence. He's going to air this out for Davis. And he's into the end zone. Gabe Davis. Touchdown, Jaguars. A terrific play all the way around. Finished off by the receiver, who not only made the grab, but Greg turned it up and takes it into the end zone.
And that's the tricky part, Mike, that transition from receiver to runner. And in this case, he does it flawlessly. Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then get upfield and get yourself in the end zone.
Little on now for the extra point. It's up and good. And the Jaguars extend their advantage to 14-3. Little now following the touchdown, out to kick this one away. Abdullah now to return. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The Vegas offense ready to get rolling again. The deficit is double digits, so work to do as they begin this drive with 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground, and here's Madison. He'll work this ahead for 2, maybe 3. It was Andre Cisco there to bring him down. And in motion here is Tucker. From the gun, here's Minshew. And he'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
Nice example there, Mike, of the quarterback just being smart with the ball, understanding it didn't quite develop the way he had intended. Throw that ball out of harm's way, live to play another down.
Here's 3rd and 7. Minshew gonna look to throw. And he wisely hit the deck at the end of that one. No unnecessary shot there. It is a first down. A first down there on a pickup of 17. So a big 3rd down hookup takes us to the break. It's the Jaguars on top. And we're back in Vegas after this. So they come to the line for 1st down and 10. Marshall is on the move. Throwing on 1st and 10, it's Minshew. He's going to let one go, looking for Myers. And this will be incomplete.
You know, there's a fine line between trusting your arm and having a little bit too much faith in your arm, right? I think this was one of those situations here, Mike, where there was nowhere to go with the ball. He tries to fit that one in there anyway, and he's lucky that it just falls incomplete.
Now it's the veteran, Amir Abdullah. And he'll bring this across midfield as this drive is taking shape. A gain of 7 on that one.
Very positive returns on that run. I mean, really, the only thing not to like is that they weren't able to move the chains. But you know what? The way he ran there, I think they go right back to him and see if he has even a bigger carry in him.
On the handoff, it's Madison.
Well, we have an early decision here, Mike. How aggressive does this coach want to be on this 4th down try? I think you got to keep your offense out there. You have a prime opportunity to take the fight to them, extend this drive, and hopefully be able to come away with points.
The Raiders have their punt team out there. And that one not placed as well as he had hoped. It's all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Jags offense ready to get back at it. They built a nice lead for themselves here. They'll try to add to that, beginning with 1st down. They'll give it to ETN to start this drive. Room to run at the 35. A big run. They finally get to him and bring him down.
There's a combination of footwork and vision, his ability to kind of weave through traffic and understand where the holes were. It's a really nice job working through some bodies and picking up a big gain.
They'll come up 1st and 10 at the 40. To the right, on the run, it's ETN. A gain of 4 as he's taken down. Here's a 2nd and 6. On the handoff, it's ETN. And he'll lean forward, getting this to about the 35. Robert Spillane spills him there. Third and 5. Lawrence. That is caught at the 3. He is in. Christian Kirk. Touchdown, Jacksonville. And the show continues. What a first half he's had, Greg. A third touchdown pass with that one.
Mike, what stood out to me the most so far is just the amount of space these guys have had to operate in. I think if I'm this defensive coordinator, me and my staff at halftime are revisiting this game plan. They obviously felt good about it coming in, but I don't think there's anything to feel good about thus far.
Here's Cam Little for the PAT. He knocks it through. And the Jaguars move out to a 21-3 advantage. Little now following the touchdown, out to kick this one away. On the return is Dylan Laube. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Raiders offense getting those helmets back on, ready to head out for their next possession. They'll try to get this a bit more respectable before the break. It has not been their half to this point. Let's see what they do on this drive. First down now. And he'll get about 5 past the 30-yard line. They'll break the huddle. It's 2nd and 5. Minshew. That's to the outside. He's got it to Bowers on the corner route. That pass play good for 22. First down, Vegas.
It's been a rough first half, but now as we approach halftime, Mike, you got to start getting some wins, and it could be something small like we just saw here. Some positive plays, build a little confidence on that sideline, so as you go into halftime, you have something to build on.
And they're going to be set up in the red zone. They've got it inside the 15.
If you want to score points at a high level in the NFL, you have to generate explosive plays. And after that big chunk pass play, they find themselves now down there in the red zone, and this is where you have to finish drives.
They can still get a first down at the 1. 1st and 10, they go from the 11. On the ground, it's Madison. And he finds a little bit of space. He'll take this forward for a gain of 4. Straight ahead, here's Madison. And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that one.
I just don't love the look of this offense so far in this game, Mike. I mean, this first half, they've been flat. They've been lethargic. There hasn't been a lot of urgency, and we saw it again on this last play. Simple handoff, no gain, same story.
On 3rd down, they'll set up to throw. He'll try to run. And he's in. Gardner Minshew. Touchdown, Vegas. Well, that is a step in the right direction, finding the end zone. I don't know, Greg, could this be building some momentum for these guys, and that's important before halftime?
Absolutely, and I think the biggest thing this coach is trying to get across right now on the sideline, Mike, is let's just cut into this lead, and let's make it a one-score game at half. So they still got some work to do, but if they can go into halftime, regroup, catch their breath, just keep it close, give yourself a fighting chance here out of the break.
Carlson able to knock through the extra point, and the Raiders get a bit closer here. It's now 21-10. Here's Carlson now. He'll kick this one off, following the touchdown on the other end. Duvernay on the return. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. There's Trevor Lawrence as he and the Jaguars get set for their next drive. And he's had things all his way in the first half. Those numbers are sensational. And he looks to add to them with another drive here. The drive begins with a carry from ETN. And a good run there. Gonna get him 5 yards. Now second down throw for Lawrence. He's going to run it. He'll get a dozen out of that one, scrambling his way to a first down.
Mike, anytime you're preparing to play a quarterback like this, the defense has to be prepared to keep him in the pocket. Once he gets out, we can see clearly why he is such a threat with his legs.
The tight end, Ingram, is on the move. On the give, it's ETN. And he'll be brought down at the 45. Robert Spillane spills him there. In motion comes Thomas. Working out of the gun, it's Lawrence. This one complete to Washington. And that's going to be a first down. A pickup of 9.
Really nice job there to move the chains early in this drive, but now as they approach midfield, continue to keep your foot on the gas. Don't get conservative. Don't start sitting on the ball. Cross midfield and go. Anytime you find yourself on your opponent's side of the field, you have to be thinking points.
That's into the hands of Travis Etienne. And they'll get about 4 here as he is taken down.
All right, so there's really 3 areas that a modern NFL running back has to excel at. Number 1, the traditional handoffs. Number 2, you have to be excellent and reliable in pass protection. And maybe bigger than all of them, you have to be at least serviceable out of the backfield in the passing game.
And he'll get 4 on this one. Down inside the 40-yard line now. Now a 3rd and 2. They'll run it once more with ETN. Whoa. It's a pickup of 12. That's good for a Jaguar first down.
The offensive line doing a great job opening these run lanes. They have been there this entire first half, and I think if I'm this play caller, until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away, I think I'm just going to keep turning around and handing it to that guy.
First and 10. Kirk is the motion man. Lawrence now to throw on first down. This one is caught by Kirk. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a first down completion of 7 yards. Second down and 3. Up the middle, here's ETN. And he'll bring this inside the 15, and that's good enough for the first down.
I think this second down call, Mike, they were hoping that at worst, they had themselves set up for a 3rd down and short. But there's no need for 3rd down. He was able to get enough on 2nd, and they get a fresh set of downs.
Kirk is the motion man. On first down, Lawrence gets it away quickly, and it's caught. And the Jags are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
I love the way the ball's been moving around to different guys this drive, Mike. I mean, it really keeps the defense guessing and off balance. And now this defense is going to have to figure out how to keep this offense out of the end zone because it's 1st and goal.
And he will take this one across into the end zone. Travis Etienne, touchdown Jaguars. Taking care of business on the ground to get the score. And Greg, the big guys up front, they deserve some praise on that one.
Absolutely, Mike. And it really only takes one guy to distort the defense and win his block. But in this case, give credit to the entire unit. They did their job, and they reward their offense with a touchdown.
Little on now for the extra point. He gets it to go, and the Jaguars add on one more as they extend their 2nd quarter lead. Little now following the touchdown, out to kick this one away. Abdullah now to return. The Raiders offense ready to take over once more. They'll begin with 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, it's Minshew. This one into the hands of Marshall. And he'll be taken down up at the 40-yard line.
We've really seen both teams have a lot of success moving the ball throughout this entire first half, and just seems this possession is going to be more of the same as they start this drive.
Here's 1st and 10. Here's Abdullah. And they get this one across midfield to the 47-yard line.
This is a guy who's been doing it at a high level, Mike, for a long time. Not too many running backs finding success in the NFL past the age of 30. That's usually when they kind of ride off into the sunset, but as always, there's the exception to every rule.
They'll go here with Madison. And he'll take this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down. They'll stick with Madison. A gain there of 16 yards. Good for a Raider 1st down.
It's not just the blockers creating yards for him out there. He created most of that yardage on his own, shrugging off the initial tackle attempt and continuing to rumble downfield.
On 1st and 10, it's Minshew. Trying to get away, but he will not. They finally run him down.
And now we're seeing the game kind of go back and forth. Each team trading blows, trying to establish control over the other. Nice chunk play on the previous play. The defense responds back with a sack, and we're going to see which team can establish a little bit more of this control as the game unfolds.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. Now Madison. And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage at best. Might have even lost a yard there.
These are the impact plays that this linebacker is capable of, Mike. Not only dissecting and determining where the ball was going, but then to shoot through the line of scrimmage and make this tackle for a loss. That's a big-time play by a really good player.
On 3rd and long, it's Minshew. Here's a screen set up for Madison.
They pick up a nice chunk play there through the air on 3rd down, but it's not quite enough to move the chains. Now the question is, how aggressive is this head coach willing to be as he tries to extend this drive?
On now, Daniel Carlson to try the field goal. This will be from 47 yards. He is 2 for 2. That kick is good. And the Raiders are back within 2 scores.
And when you find yourself down double digits, you don't want to make habit of settling for these field goals. It does allow them to chip away a little bit and cut into this deficit, but they've got to find a way to score touchdowns.
Washington now to return it. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. Travis Etienne and the Jaguar offense ready to get back to work. And he's been a tough man to stop in this first half, putting up some big numbers already. And remember, we haven't even reached halftime yet. Lawrence gives this one to Etienne. Here's 2nd and 6. This run straight ahead for Etienne. He'll turn this into a gain of about 4. It's going to lead to 3rd down. They'll try and run for the first with Etienne. A 1st down on a gain of 11. Two minutes to go here till halftime. We'll return to Las Vegas after this. Set to go now on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Lawrence. And he'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
A rare miss for a quarterback that we've seen really come out on fire throughout this entire contest. I mean, his completion percentage, Mike, is well above league average, and frankly, it's really the biggest reason why they find themselves out in front.
We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Lawrence. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
This is why it's so critical that the quarterback and his intended target are on the same page. They got to speak the same language. When there's miscommunication, it leads to errant throws, and when errant throws lead to big missed opportunities.
Lawrence from the gun here on 3rd down. And they're going to track him down. He couldn't find a receiver, and down he goes. Here's Logan Cook now. He'll punt for the 2nd time, looking to pin the opponent back deep. The Raiders offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. They need to start making some inroads here. Down 2 scores as they begin this drive with 1st down. The shotgun, a throw for Minshew. Open man downfield. He's got his tight end, Bowers. That's his 3rd catch of this first half and good enough for a 1st down.
This is such a critical moment in the game, that middle 4 minutes, the final 2 minutes of the first half, and then the possession to come out of the halftime break. So maximizing this possession here before halftime is critical. See if you can get a drive starter. See if you can get an easy completion to kickstart a 2-minute mode, and that's what they got here. Now they got to see if they can go down and steal some points.
A big play there for the Raiders. 41 yards.
Yeah, this is one of those cases, Mike, that the defense is so consumed with locking down all the receivers that they lose track of the quarterback. And after realizing there was nowhere to go with the ball, he tucks the ball down and not only picks up the first down, he picks up a huge chunk play.
And that time, the pressure too much. He'll go down. Now timeout Vegas. That is their second, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. So after the loss on first, here's 2nd and 14. Back is Minshew. The coverage too good downfield. They'll wind up taking him down.
I think the most frustrating element to all of this is when you look downfield, there's guys open. There's plays to be made downfield in the passing game, but quite frankly, the pass protection has just been so bad that they haven't been able to take advantage of any of it.
So backed up after the sack, and now it's 3rd and long. Now Minshew. And they're going to get him once again. He's under siege. That is 3 in a row. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. On now, Daniel Carlson to try the field goal. This is going to be from 53 yards out. 3 for 3 in the game, as this one is also good. So we reach halftime here, and the visiting Jaguars are out on top. As we're off to Orlando, going to check in with Jonathan Coachman, who's got our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Michael, thanks very much as we welcome you into our downtown Orlando studios and the EA Sports Halftime Report. One of the top performers in that first half was the running back Travis Etienne. He's already over 100 yards rushing for the game and has a touchdown run as well. We saw a couple of high-octane offenses getting it done in the first half. Both teams had no problems moving the football. And you'd have to think, the team whose defense shows up in the second half is going to be the one who walks out of here with a victory.
We'll see if there's a surprise coming up. Both teams set to go, and the second half is underway. Oh, very good field position to start as the return is past the 40. The home team's offense ready to get back at it. And look, they've been out of sorts throughout, Greg. They haven't had any answer for this pass rush all game.
Yeah, and it's really showing up in the sacks and also just in their ability to prevent any yards, any completions. This has just been a dominant pass defense performance here, and everything starts with the rush. The quarterback's uncomfortable. The clock gets sped up. He's got guys in his face. It's a lot easier to play defensive back, and in some of these coverage units, when you know that ball's got to come out fast, and right now, they're teeing off and taking advantage of it.
They face 2nd down and 7. Again, it's Madison. And he'll pick his way forward, a gain of about 5. And that's going to set up 3rd down. Marshall is on the move. He'll get this out to the left flat, and he will have the first down. He caught it short of the line to gain, but knows right where that marker is, and he's able to pick up that first down.
This is a great example of where just having situational awareness is so critical in the huddle. When every one of those receivers, Mike, breaks the huddle and go line up, they've got to know where that first down marker is. If your route calls, get by it, secure the catch, and bring up a fresh set of downs.
Not much happening there, just a short gain. Here's a 2nd and 9. They'll run Abdullah. Fighting off tacklers, pushing his way forward. Good gain of about 4. Third and 6. Here's Minshew. And he's going to go down yet again. He has been under fire all game long.
And the big guys up front in the offensive line just continue to not be on the same page. And we've seen it time and time again here today. This pass rush remains one step ahead of them, and it's the quarterback who continues to pay the price.
The Raiders send their punt team out. And this is going to work out for them. Out of bounds, and they'll mark it inside the 10. The visitors' offense, and Trevor Lawrence set to take over once more. And we show you some of the highlights, and there have been plenty to choose from. 3 touchdown passes, and some other big-time throws as well. Certainly dialed in and on top of his game right throughout this one. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. A give for Etienne, heading right. And a good gain. He's going to be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
Pretty much just more of the same from what we saw with this back in the first half. And he doesn't need much. He gets a little bit of space, and then he can create the rest. It's the combination of patience, vision, and then the burst to hit the hole once he sees it. This guy's been a handful all day.
The tight end, Ingram, is on the move. They'll go back to Etienne on 1st down. And he's going to be taken down. Not so easy this time. They drop him back behind the line. It's 2nd down.
And this is a great example of why it's so important on defense to sprint to the ball. His ability to make people miss is hard for one guy to get him on the ground. But when you can get everybody to the ball, eventually you can take them down. And in this case, they do it for a loss.
Once again, it's Etienne. Whoa! And he's taken down, but not until he gets to the 32-yard line.
It's too early at this point, Mike, to really start thinking about the clock. You definitely don't want to go into a shell. But now this is the point in the game where having a good ground game really starts to take over. You throw to get the lead, but man, once you get it, that ground game, that's what finishes the game off.
Etienne now on 1st and 10. Here's 2nd and 9. Now a handoff. Etienne. And he's bottled up after a gain of a yard. They need 8 as they come up for 3rd down. Here's Lawrence to throw. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
Got to give a lot of credit here to the coverage unit, Mike. There was plenty of time for the quarterback to work through his progression. I thought the protection was actually pretty solid. But at the end of it, there was just nowhere to go, and he had no choice but to just throw that ball away.
Punting unit comes on. Jaguars will kick it away. A fair catch taken, and they're going to start right at their own 20-yard line. The home team's offense, and Gardner Minshew going to take over once again. This drive starts at the 21. It's 1st and 10. On the ground, Abdullah. And they'll mark him down up beyond the 30.
Finding yourself down here, multiple scores in the second half. The defense is going to give you some friendly run looks. So don't be afraid to mix it in there. But if you're going to find yourself coming back from this deficit, you're going to have to do it primarily through the air with just a little bit of mix of the run.
Man in motion here is Tucker. Here's Minshew now on 1st and 10. He runs with it.
Initially, Mike, a really good job by the defense. Nowhere to go with the ball for this quarterback. He's forced to pull it down and turn into a runner. Little slow reaction, and he's able to actually pick up a pretty good gain.
They'll come to the line now on 2nd and 2. On the give, this is Madison. And he'll get the first down there, a pickup of about 5 yards.
This is a situation that play callers love to be in, Mike. They have all their options on the table. 2nd and short, play action pass, you can run. In this case, they choose to keep it on the ground, play it safe, pick up the first down.
Man in motion here is Tucker. Here's a run with Abdullah. He'll be brought down after a short pickup to the 45. On 2nd down, here comes Madison. 15-yard pickup there. First down, Vegas.
Really nice job by this running back here, Mike. I don't think this play was blocked particularly well. I think it was a combination of his patience and then his speed around the left side to not only pick up the first down, but pick up good yardage while he was at it.
On 1st down, a run with Madison. And he surges forward for a gain of about 5. Man in motion here is Tucker. From the gun, here's Minshew. He'll be hit as he throws this time, and it's going to fall incomplete. And he might be fortunate just to avoid the sack, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
The pass protection's been a little bit shaky at times, and that was the case there. And even though they're not going to go down for allowing a sack, it was allowing the pressure that ultimately prevented that pass from being completed.
Good job breaking the pocket and going for 14 yards, and most importantly, a first down.
And here's a great example of why the pass rush on 3rd down, that it's critical it gets home. In this case, they're not able to get to the quarterback. He has extra time to not only escape the pocket, but to turn into a runner and pick up the first down.
An unbalanced look to the left here on 1st down. On the handoff, it's Madison. He'll struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe he gets a yard out of that one. It's 2nd down. They'll toss this one out to Madison. Trying to find some place to go, but nothing developing. Tackled behind the line. It's a loss of 1.
I'd like to see that running back be a little bit more decisive with his cut, Mike. You can see he was a little hesitant, and once you're late making that decision, you just kind of get strong laterally. Great job there by the defense, and he has no choice but to take that loss.
That is caught. What a throw. Jacoby Myers. Touchdown, Raiders. Greg, sometimes we say it too often. That was an important drive. That one really felt important for them to edge a little bit closer.
Yeah, now the question is, Mike, yeah, the offense does their job, but can the defense get a stop? They've got to continue to get the ball back to their offense. Let them build on that previous drive because they've still got some work to do.
Carlson's kick is good. And the Raiders have cut the deficit to 5. Here's Carlson now. He'll kick this one off, following the touchdown on the other end. Washington now to return it. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The visitors' offense and Travis Etienne set to get back to work. And as you take a look at the numbers, you have to imagine he was the topic of conversation in that locker room at halftime. They got to find a way to slow him down. Nothing they've done has worked so far. That's a nice pickup on a first down throw. It's a gain of 8.
Defense does a nice job here initially using zone coverage to take away the middle of the field. That's the most valuable real estate in football. Quarterback gets off his first read, sees some openings to the sideline, and him and his receiver are able to connect.
On second down, here's Etienne. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45.
Second and short. Normally, this is a great time, Mike, to put the ball in the air and try to press the ball downfield. But in this case, they keep it on the ground. Has a similar effect. They pick up a good gain and a first down.
They'll come up here, 1st and 10. They'll run it once more with Etienne. And the defense was ready for him this time. Did not have the same room to run. That one's no gain.
You could just see the frustration on the running back's face as he's getting helped up off the ground, Mike. There was just nowhere to go from the moment he was handed the ball. Give credit to the defense. Great job.
Here's Etienne. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line.
This is one of those cases where having high-end speed in the backfield can be such a game changer. The offensive linemen don't need to hold their blocks quite as long. You give this guy a little bit of a crease, and man, he is gone.
They'll go 3 tight ends here on 1st and 10. Lawrence gives this one to Etienne. Finding room to the 20. And he is tough to bring down. A big one there on the ground.
Big hole up the middle. The interior of this offensive line did a great job clearing some space. The back saw it quick, and he hit it. The next thing you know, he was in the secondary for a big pickup.
So they move inside the 20, 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll run the toss here to Etienne. And this time they are ready for him. Thrown for a loss. And it's 2nd down.
All week long, they stress, Mike, that we have to get as many defenders to this ball carrier as possible. They know he's going to make some guys miss. He's going to be hard to get on the ground, but you can see the effect of rallying to the ball as it had here. They're able to take him down, and they're able to do it for a loss.
This run straight ahead for Etienne. He'll get about 3, and that's going to lead to 3rd down. They're going to try to pick this up on 3rd and 8. Throwing is Lawrence. Now a screen set up for ETN. And the Jaguars are going to have a 1st and goal coming up. He's out of bounds at the 2. 14 yards on the pickup there.
So first off, nice job picking up enough for the 1st down. But I got to be honest, Mike, when he caught it, I thought he was going to put his foot in the ground and get physical and run through contact and try to score. I'm not so sure why he just so quickly ran out of bounds, even though he was able to pick up the 1st.
Here's Bigsby. And he'll go down, back at the 4.
A loss was definitely not something they had accounted or budgeted for in this spot. And now, I think it really limits what do you feel comfortable dialing up here on 2nd and goal.
Now back at the 4 for 2nd and goal. Now Lawrence on the bootleg. Oh, they are on him in a flash, and he's lost the football. One of his teammates is there to pick it up.
Nearly a disaster there, especially in this area of the field, Mike. You know these guys are reaching for the ball. That is such a priority of every defense around the league. Create turnovers, especially in the red zone. Fortunately for this guy, he gets to get back in the huddle for another crack at it, thanks to some quick thinking and good hustle from one of his own guys.
Throwing here on the pressure gets home. He's lost the football. One of the Raiders has got it. In the pocket looking to throw the ball, but the defense was looking right at the ball. They knock it away and come up with the turnover.
Mike, we see so often a quarterback is so focused, keeping his eyes down the field, looking for one of his receivers to work himself free, that they lose track of where the defenders are. And I think that's exactly what happened here. The defender closed on him quicker than he might have thought, knocks the ball loose, creating the takeaway.
Operating from their own 23, they'll begin 1st and 10. Minshew going to look to throw. The pressure there got to him. He's hit as he threw it, and that pass falls incomplete.
All these defensive linemen, I promise you, they all want sacks. That is how you get paid. That is how you make your name. But it's also the other plays where you can affect the quarterback. Can you make them feel uncomfortable? Or in this case, you don't get the sack, but it was the hit that's able to alter the pass to fall incomplete.
And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing 3rd down.
It's always a risky decision anytime a quarterback tries to force the ball, especially into those tightly contested areas. Not a lot of daylight, not a lot of room for error. In this case, it just falls simply as an incomplete. But as this game unfolds, better decisions are going to lead to better results.
And this offensive line just has no answers right now. It's another sack.
Sometimes you just have to know when the play is over and live to play another down. He has pressure coming right at him, and instead of just throwing the ball away, he tries to escape, he tries to get creative, and he ends up losing a lot more yards than he should have.
They're all set to kick this one away, as he'll have to hit it from his own end zone. But he cannot get away. Great job down there to hold him to a short return. The Jaguars offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And you have to imagine the defense is saying, how do we stop this guy? He has run roughshod through him to this point in the 3rd quarter. He'll work his way ahead for a gain of about 4. Here's a 2nd and 6. Up the middle, here's ETN. And it'll be brought down as we tick towards the end of this 3rd quarter. So, 3 quarters have come and gone. Back with more after the break. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. This crowd into it now as we get to third down. Lawrence. That one on target with Kirk. They've got it. And he's going to have the first down. So they convert on third down with a pickup of 9.
Well, so often we see quarterbacks standing in the pocket, holding it, seeing if they can create something downfield. Well, not that play. That play was simple. Snap the ball to the quarterback, spit it out into the hands of your receiver, and let's see what he can do.
From the gun, a give to ETN. And good blocking up front, paving the way for a gain of 8 on the ground. Here's 2nd and 2. On the ground, here's ETN. And he will have the first down. Not a huge run, but enough to move the chains. Once again, it's ETN. And he'll manage to get this ahead for a pickup of 5. They'll break the huddle. It's 2nd and 5. Working out of the gun, it's Lawrence. And they'll whistle him down, but not before he picks up a first down after a gain of 7. Now Lawrence. This is caught toward the side of the end zone. Christian Kirk. Touchdown, Jacksonville. 2 touchdowns for him now on the afternoon. That is yet another touchdown pass. What a game he is having, throwing his 4th touchdown score of the game.
It's one thing, Mike, to throw 4 touchdowns, but it's really the ease in which he's carved this defense up that has stood out the most. The defense has had no answers for this passing game, and he has just completely had his way with this group.
Here's Cam Little for the PAT. The kick is good. And the Jaguars will open it up even further here in this 4th quarter. Little now following the touchdown, out to kick this one away. Abdullah now to return. The Raiders offense ready to get back to work. They'll see if they can put something together here, beginning with 1st and 10. The drive starts with a run by Madison. And a strong first down run, a pickup of 9, setting up 2nd and short. To throw, Minshew. Looking middle, and he's got Myers. And he'll be taken down. The gain is 6, and it's a new set of downs. He picked up the first down.
Things certainly look a little improbable right now, Mike, but I wouldn't say impossible. I think they've got to capitalize on this possession to pick up some points. Every single possession right now is priceless. points, possessions, and then they got to get some defensive stops.
He keeps it himself. They'll pick up 23 on that one. Good for a Raider first down.
And this has been a familiar sight all day today for this defense. They have no answer for this quarterback as a runner. That last scramble puts him over 100 yards for the day.
From the 35, it's 1st and 10. On the ground, Abdullah. And he's all the way down to the 15-yard line.
I've always gone by the philosophy, Mike, that the pass sets up the run. And in these last two plays, that's exactly what happened. You hit them with the big pass, they adjust. You soften them up a little bit, you take advantage for the big gain on the ground.
Off the bootleg, it's Minshew. First down throw there is incomplete.
I think the biggest issue and why they find themselves trailing in this game, Mike, has really just been the ups and downs of this passing game. At sometimes, he's highly accurate and efficient, but at others, he just misses too many easy throws. Question is, are they going to be able to overcome this quarterback inconsistency and pull this game out?
And he nearly got free. But as it is, gain of 6, and it sets up 3rd down. They'll try and throw with Minshew. And he's going to go down yet again. He has been under fire all game long.
That's a prototypical coverage sack. All 11 guys on the field doing their job. Starts with sound back-end coverage. Nowhere to go quick with the ball. The quarterback has no chance but to extend the play. Look for something late developing downfield. That was all the time this front needed to chase him down and bring him down for a sack.
On now, Daniel Carlson to try the field goal. Another one through the uprights. He's 4 for 4 on the game. And the Raiders will cut into that lead. Back out is Carlson following the made field goal. And he sends this kickoff away. Washington now to return it. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The Jaguars offense and their running back set to go once more. The cushion is 9 as they begin this drive with 1st and 10. Play action now. It's Lawrence. A very quick throw there, but not on the same page with his target. That's incomplete.
Just a little bit too much juice on that one, and you just can't throw the ball out of bounds. Give your receiver a chance to go up and compete for the ball, but when you miss that far wide, he's got no shot.
The tight end, Ingram, is on the move. 2nd down, Lawrence. That's complete to ETN. And they'll work this close to a 1st down, maybe just a tad short. Third and a yard. They'll try and run for the first with ETN. A gain there of 13 yards.
2-possession lead, 4th quarter. This is the time, Mike, when you really can rely heavily on your run game. Everybody in the stadium knows you're going to run it, including the defense. They just can't come up with an answer to stopping it.
So they come to the line for 1st down and 10. Here comes ETN running to the left. finding space inside the 40. And he'll be taken down.
So when you're evaluating the impact of a team's run game, Mike, I think it's important at the end of the game to look back and say, okay, how many yards did they run for? But more importantly, when did those yards come? Did I run for those yards in the fourth quarter, which typically means I had to lead? That's the sign of a successful run game, as opposed to getting a lot of meaningless yards early in the game.
And they're going to take this into the red zone to the 15-yard line.
An interesting decision there by the play caller to put this ball in the air. Mike, you're up by 2 scores. Traditional wisdom says, hey, we're up by 2 scores late in the fourth quarter. We've got to keep this clock moving. You don't want to risk an incompletion. Now, they convert. They're able to secure the catch and pick up a fresh set of downs. That's going to enable them to continue to burn more clock. And without a stop, their opponent's not going to get the ball back.
And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on first down. They'll come up now for 2nd down and 4. Here's Lawrence. That's to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
You could just see the reaction on the sideline. This defense thought they had themselves a critical stop. The mantra down here for all defensive coordinators, Mike, is takeaways, field goals. That's what you're trying to do, and man, they were this close to coming away with a huge takeaway.
They'll throw here on 3rd and short yardage. And they're going to have enough to convert here, and it sets up 1st and goal.
What an impressive drive this has really been, and it's a combination of big plays and 3rd down conversions. Now after that last 3rd down pickup, it's 1st and goal. They got a chance to finish this really impressive drive and come away with 6.
They'll run it here with ETN. And he'll work forward for about 3. It's 2nd down. Now here's Lawrence. And he will fight his way to the end zone. Trevor Lawrence. Touchdown, Jaguars. Initially looking to throw it for the touchdown, couldn't find anything, so Greggy takes care of business himself, using his legs for the touchdown.
Well, it was clear early on, Mike, that this defense was expecting the pass, and after matching all the receivers in the end zone, this quarterback realized quickly it was his legs that he was going to need to rely on to get the ball across the goal line.
So Lawrence lines up the Jaguars as they will go for 2. Blitz coming, he'll throw it. In trouble, and he's going to be taken down.
So they decide to put the ball in the air, which I don't mind on this 2-point try, but the execution was just a little bit off, and it's not going to work out in their favor this time around.
Little now following the touchdown, out to kick this one away. Abdullah now to return. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. The home team's offense and their quarterback headed out for their next possession. And this defense has got to be at its wits' end trying to come up with a way to keep him contained. He's had so many opportunities to tuck it and go, and he's turned a number of those into big plays. And this offensive line just has no answers right now. It's another sack.
This is a great reminder of why it's so important to have great offensive tackles. When you get beat so fast off the edge, the quarterback has nowhere to go in the pocket to escape, and that's what happens.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. Marshall is on the move. Working out of the gun, it's Minshew. And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing 3rd down.
Rough sequence over these last couple plays. 1st down, sack. 2nd down, big play attempt, falls incomplete. And now to make matters worse, you got to operate in 3rd and long on a defense that knows they can just pin their ears back and try to get after the quarterback.
Oh, a loose football. One of his teammates there to take it back in.
These are the opportunities that just kill defensive coordinators. You got the ball loose. You did everything you want. But now you got to recover it. You need better pursuit to the ball, more bodies around the ball carrier. Because when that ball pops out, you've got to be on it. These opportunities don't come around often. And when they do, you got to seize the moment.
Trailing late, they've got to go here. It's 4th down. Minshew. That's over the middle and intercepted. That's the safety, Andre Cisco. And he's going to be out of bounds, but quite a turn of events here. He has set up the offense with 1st and goal.
It's not often, Mike, that everything breaks right for this type of return off of an interception. But boy, is it beautiful when it does. I mean, look at the defenders just flip around and become blockers, trying to spring their guy to the house. Great athleticism, some great moves on his part. I mean, he's going to have some of his offensive teammates looking over their shoulder for their position.
The Jaguars offense make their way out to take over once more. As we look back at some of the highlights in this one, you'll see a lot of them, Greg, coming from the passing game. They've done a nice job picking the defense apart.
Yeah, and I think that's the right way to say it. It hasn't necessarily been just a bunch of deep shots, a bunch of explosives. It's been more methodical. It's been precise. They've really been all over their execution, and this is about as close to a complete performance as you're going to see from any offense throughout the course of this season.
Inside the 5, it is 2nd and goal. On the bootleg, he'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete, but a penalty flag down on the play. And let's see who's guilty. You only get a 1-yard buffer from the line of scrimmage for these old linemen. That time he strayed a little too far, and it draws the flag. From a little further back, here's 2nd and goal. From the shotgun, it's Lawrence. He pulls it in around the 5. And he keeps the legs moving, able to get it down inside the 5. Good job so far by the defense protecting the short field. Now it's 3rd and goal. Back to throw. Lawrence. Good blocking, and he's in. Trevor Lawrence. Touchdown, Jacksonville. That is a dream scenario. The offense handed the ball 1st and goal, and Greg, they take it to the end zone for 6.
They're not going to have many easier drives than that, Mike. I mean, to get the ball, not only in a short field, but in a goal-to-go situation, you don't get a lot of those chances. You have to cash them in, and that's exactly what they were able to do.
Little on now for the extra point. He's got it. And the Jaguars tack on one more to their lead. Little now following the touchdown, out to kick this one away. Abdullah now to return. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The Vegas offense ready to get rolling again. Things not looking good. But see if they get the turnaround going here. They'll start this drive with first down. Over the middle, that's the tight end, Bowers. And they'll mark him down just shy of the 40.
These can be tricky situations defensively, right? The game is all but over. Barring something unforeseen, you got this one in the bag, but you still want to finish on a high note. You still want to walk off the field and put an exclamation point on what's pretty much been a dominant performance right from the start.
Minshew now to throw on 1st and 10. And he's going to go down yet again. He has been under fire all game long.
Sometimes in the NFL, you have to be careful what you ask for. This offensive line, they were very clear to us this week. They wanted to take on this group. They loved the ability to be challenged. Well, they might have poked the bear a little bit too much because they've now surrendered a whopping 10 sacks in a single game, and I don't think there's been any signs of this pass rush slowing down. You just can't defend a pass much better than that, Mike, and the way they teach these defenders is attack the receiver's hand with your hands. That's the catch point that you want to disrupt, and makes a really nice play on the ball, and he's able to knock it out of bounds.
They come to the line needing 11 here on 3rd down. The shotgun, a throw for Minshew. That is knocked away downfield, incomplete. He made sure not to let the receiver get behind him. 3rd down stop sets up 4th down.
I just don't like the look of this passing game, Mike. It just seems a bit erratic. On top of the 2 straight incompletions, they've already turned the ball over through the air. And truthfully, with how dangerous some of these throws have been, they're lucky it hasn't been even more.
He'll air it out down the middle. And that is not going to work. Incomplete, and they turn it over on downs.
So this offense, they think this is a prime opportunity to go for it through the air on 4th down, but this defense was having none of it. Nowhere for the quarterback to go with the ball, no easy completions, and this defense forces a huge stop on 4th down.
To the right, on the run, it's ETN. This defense all over this one. They get him down behind the line. It's a loss of a couple.
Some defensive ends specialize in getting after the quarterback. Some defensive ends specialize in run game. This guy can really make an impact on both, as we saw here for that tackle for loss.
A give for ETN, heading right. And he'll be taken down as the clock ticks towards 2 minutes to play. 2 minutes remain in the 4th quarter. We'll come back and finish this one off after this. Got to get it to the 28, but now it's 3rd down. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
I think this defense is wondering where some of these missed throws were earlier in the game. I mean, for a while, it seemed like everything the offense did hit. And after that last incomplete pass, although this game's all but over, this defense will certainly take it.
And that is no good. He missed it. And they are not able to add on to their big lead.
They're just trying to extend the lead here, and this is definitely one they're going to want to have back.
The Raiders offense ready for this next possession. They'll have very good starting field position as they set up past the 40. 1st and 10. Back is Minshew. That's a short one, caught by Bowers. And he'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3. Second and 7. From the gun, here's Minshew. And this offensive line just has no answers right now. It's another sack.
Early in this drive, they're trying to establish some offensive rhythm, but now after that second down sack, really puts them in a must-pass. You don't want to be in 3rd and long very often in the NFL. It's not a very high percentage conversion rate, and with the danger of a 3-and-out, they better hold up here in pass protection.
And he's going to go down yet again. He has been under fire all game long.
I think the defense came in confident that they'd be able to get after the quarterback, right, Mike? When we met with them this week, they felt like they had a really good plan, some exotic looks, some different pressure packages, and it's worked to perfection. I'm not sure they thought they'd be 1 sack away from breaking the NFL record for the most sacks in a single game, but here we are.
That's taken in, and he's not going to get away. They get him down right after the catch. Great rally to the ball to force a turnover on downs.
So the key to this play is when you're going to play pass coverage and you're going to drop in depth, you have to understand if the quarterback drops the ball off short, you need to rally tackle. You need to limit the run after the catch. Don't let that receiver pick up the first down. That's exactly what this defense was able to do in this situation. Tackle him short of the chains, force the turnover on downs.
And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line.
Have to imagine at some point here, Mike, the defensive coordinator looks to change things up. This running back has had his way with them all day long. Get a few more guys in the box, but then you know what that does. It opens you up down the field to that passing game.
So it is a win for our visitors, the Jaguars. This was a game where both offenses were up and down the field, marching the ball at will, matching each other point for point. But in the end, they got a few more defensive stops than their opponents did, and that was the difference in this one. And that'll do it for my partner, Greg Olson. For our entire team, I'm Mike Tirico. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long, everyone.